Once upon a time, in a kingdom not too far from here, there was a beautiful princess who was loved by everyone in the kingdom. She was known for her kindness and compassion, always putting the needs of others before her own. One day, the princess's mother, the queen, decided that it was time for her daughter to find a prince to marry. So she invited all the eligible bachelors from around the kingdom to a grand ball in hopes that one of them would win her daughter's hand. Amongst the many princes who attended, the ball was a young man named Jasper. Unlike the other princes, Jasper wasn't interested in marrying the princess for her beauty or status. He had fallen in love with her because of her kind heart. He had heard stories of her compassion and wanted to meet her because he admired those qualities so much. When Jasper first laid eyes on the princess, he knew that she was the one for him. She was even more beautiful than he had imagined, and her kindness and compassion were evident in the way she treated everyone at the ball. They danced together, they talked for hours, and by the end of the night, Jasper had fallen head over heels in love with her. The princess too felt a connection with Jasper that she had never felt before. She liked the other princes at the ball, but none of them had been able to make her laugh or keep her interested like Jasper had. By the end of the night, she knew that she loved him as well. As the ball wound down, and it was time for the princes to leave, Jasper approached the princess and asked her for her hand in marriage. Overjoyed, she accepted, and they embraced as the other princes watched on, some with envy and others with admiration. News of their engagement spread quickly throughout the kingdom, and everyone rejoiced. The wedding was to take place in 3 days, and preparations were underway. The queen was so happy that her daughter had found someone as wonderful as Jasper. She knew that he loved her for who she was, and that he would treat her with the respect and kindness that she deserved. On the day of the wedding, the kingdom came together to celebrate. The streets were lined with people from all walks of life, all there to wish the happy couple well. The princess looked beautiful in her white gown, and Jasper was handsome in his finest clothes. As they exchanged vows and rings, everyone in attendance felt the love that they had for each other. It was clear that they were meant to be together. After the ceremony, there was a grand feast and celebration. People danced and sang, and the newlyweds took it all in, knowing that they were the luckiest people in the kingdom. That night, the princess and the prince retired to their bedroom in the palace. It was a beautiful room with a 4-poster bed and walls adorned with paintings of past royal couples. The happy couple embraced and made love, and soon it became clear that their happily ever after was going to be even more wonderful than they had imagined. But then suddenly, the princess felt a sharp pain in her stomach and collapsed to the ground. Panicked, the prince rushed to her side and called for help. Soon, the queen and the royal physician were in the room trying to figure out what had happened. "I don't know what happened," the prince cried. "One minute we were fine, and the next she collapsed." The royal physician examined the princess, but he couldn't find anything wrong with her. "I'm sorry, your highness," he said to the prince, "but I can't seem to find anything wrong with the princess. It almost seems as if she's perfectly healthy." The prince was desperate. He didn't want anything to happen to his new bride. He loved her with all his heart and would do anything to protect her. "Please," he begged the physician. "You have to find something wrong with her. You have to help her." But the physician was no longer able to help. He had done all that he could, and there was nothing else he could do. With tears in his eyes, he left the room, and the prince immediately went after him. "Please," he pleaded, "you have to help her. I'll do anything for you. Just please help her." But the physician was firm. "I'm sorry, your highness," he said, "but there's nothing else I can do. The princess is perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with her." The prince felt as if his world was crashing down around him. He didn't know what to do. His new bride was lying on the ground in front of him, and he was powerless to help. Suddenly, he remembered the words of an old woman who had lived in the kingdom for many years. She was known for her wisdom, and the prince had often gone to her for advice when he was younger. Maybe she could help him now. He rushed out of the room and down the hallway, his mind racing. He had to get to the old woman before it was too late. The prince ran as fast as he could through the streets of the kingdom, not caring who he bumped into or what they thought of him. All that mattered was getting to the old woman and asking for her help. When he finally reached her house, he burst through the door and explained his situation. The old woman listened patiently, and when he finished, she nodded her head slowly. "I see," she said. "Then you need my help." The prince nodded frantically. "Yes, please," he begged. "You have to help me. My wife, she's lying on the ground and I don't know what to do." The old woman smiled. "Don't worry, my boy," she said. "I know just what to do." And with that, she grabbed a basket that was in the corner of the room and handed it to the prince. "Take this back to the castle," she said. "It will help your wife." The prince didn't question her, and he rushed back to the castle, the basket in his arms. When he arrived, the queen and the royal physician were still with the princess, and the prince immediately went to them. "I have something that might help," he said, holding out the basket. The royal physician looked inside and saw a large amount of peas. "Peas?" he asked. "What are you supposed to do with these peas?" The old woman had not explained what the peas were for, and the prince didn't know how to tell them. He just knew that she had said that they would help. Just then, the queen had an idea. "Wait a minute," she said. "I think I know what the old woman means. She wants us to make the princess eat these peas." And with that, the queen picked up a pea and held it in front of the princess's face. "Eat this, my dear," she said. "It will make you feel better." The princess opened her mouth and ate the pea. The moment the pea touched her tongue, a strange thing happened. The pain in her stomach vanished, and she felt better than she had in days. In fact, she felt so good that she sat up and took the rest of the peas from the queen. Everyone in the room was stunned. They couldn't believe that something so simple could make the princess feel better, but it was true. The peas had worked like magic, and the princess was back to her old self. She hugged the prince and thanked him for bringing the peas to her. "I don't know what I would have done without you," she whispered. "You saved me." And so it was that the simple act of eating peas saved the princess and the princess, happily ever after. From that day forward, the princess and the prince ruled the kingdom wisely and fairly, always remembering the importance of being kind to everyone, no matter how powerful or weak they were. And the tale of how the princess ate peas and was cured of her mysterious ailment became a legend in the kingdom, reminding everyone of the power of love and kindness.